Plugins. Everyone loves plugins. Everyone loves talking about plugins and buying plugins, and there's a bajillion plugins you could possibly buy. But in this video, I'm gonna talk about a plugin company that has legitimately helped me create more creative, actual music, not just like another compressor, another EQ, like actually helped me be more creative. Let's talk about it. What's up everybody? Nathan Larsen here, back at you with another video for those of you guys who make music at home, whether you're a songwriter, producer, artist, if you write and record your own music, this is the channel for you. And hey, if that sounds like you at all, then you need to subscribe. Just do it. It's what the cool kids do, just saying. So before actually telling you who this company is and what we're actually talking about, don't worry, I'm gonna actually be showing you some real world examples of how I actually use these plugins, and there's a handful of them that are just amazing. This company reached out to me about a year ago. I kind of blew them off, I'd never heard about them, and then they reached out to me again saying, hey, we have this new plugin that allows you to use parallel compression without any routing. It all happens within the plugin itself, and I was like, that's interesting, you know what? I think I might actually want to try that. I tried it, I was like, this is amazing, and then they said, you want some more? And then they ended up giving me all their stuff, and everything I've used of theirs sounds absolutely incredible. It's just truly, truly amazing, truly fantastic stuff. So first of all, this is not a sponsored video. If you decide to buy some stuff from them, yes, I get a small commission, but they're not paying me to say anything, and in fact, they don't even know I'm making this video. I'm just making this video because I think that they deserve some love. So without further ado, the company is Baby Audio. So Baby Audio has a handful of really just sick plugins I'm gonna be showing you in this video, showing you kind of an overview of some of them that I particularly like using. I believe they have 6 or 7 plugins. I'm gonna be showing you 3 or 4 of the ones that I use the most and that I've actually had the most experience with. So you know what, let's actually just jump into the dock and let me show you. Okay, so let's just take a look at this piano here. So this piano sound, let's just listen to it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and open up, go to Baby Audio. We're gonna go to Spaced Out. So Spaced Out is basically a reverb and a delay, kind of all in one. So you've got this middle dial here, X, Y, where it's gonna determine whether you've got more mix on the delay or the reverb. Now this delay is sweet because as you can see here, we have this matrix, and that's actually how we decide how the delay works. So this is all 16th notes. So right now it's gonna be, and then anyway, so it's gonna be kind of like a, and so if we were to put one, you just click here to add more. Listen. Now what's cool is if you click it again, it'll actually take it down. Check it. So this is a way of basically giving de-accented versus accented delay, which is just sweet. And you can change the dimension of this, different textures of the actual delay itself. You can reverse the delay, you can add filters on the delay, you can make the delay twice as fast, triplet, dotted, all sorts of cool things, really sweet. And then this whole kind of XY thing over here is actually going to determine how much of this do we have. Like right now, this is like 100% delay, 50% dry, 50% wet. If we put it over here, it'd be 100% reverb with no delay. And so as we put it down the center, this would be 50-50. Check this out. Well, it's just that sounds so good. So what I want to show you primarily is just the reverb on this, because the reverb on this sounds stellar. We have this Stardust dial, which it just sounds awesome. Let's just turn it on. Let's just show you without it first. Oh my gosh, sounds so good. So let's turn the Stardust on, check this out. This kind of gives this like super ethereal kind of sound and texture, which is just so sweet. You can change the width, right now it's automatically to 100. And so on here, on the space itself, if we put it right down the center, okay, this is basically taking the length to 0. And so there's nothing really happening. But then now, this is length. And if you do upper left, you can see here it says cosmic. You come down here, it says alien, trippy, and then lush. So you've got these different kind of characters of the actual sound. So it's gonna be lush up here, trippy. So you can hear almost this phasey sound. Over here, alien. Yeah, even more of that kind of phaser, kind of flanger sound. Up here, cosmic, which is just crazy. I really like this lush a lot. I mean, just incredible, just incredible. And then of course we can just change how wet we have it. The last thing on here that I think is so sweet and worth mentioning, I've never seen one of these on a reverb, and maybe I just don't have enough reverbs, I don't know. But this ducker right here, check this out. If I turn this up, let's say 50%-ish. So when I let go of the keys, it just opens it wide up. So watch. Now that might be a little aggressive for your taste. That's okay. You can obviously dial it back. But anyway, all in all, like this plugin here has made, oh my gosh, it's so cool. Like it really, truly is one of the most creative tools I've used in a while. And there are endless things you can do with this thing. You can change the actual program. You could have outer space. Right now I'm just on medium space. You can do small space, vacuum, same thing over here. You've got these different, I mean, it's just, what's not to love? So anyway, all in all, you just need to go buy this plugin because, and I rarely say that. Like if you've watched my channel for any period of time, you know that I don't just tell you to go buy stuff, except for native instrument stuff, because I love native instruments. But this is one I think you should buy. Okay, so that's spaced out. Let's talk about another one, and that is Parallel Aggressor. I already have it on here. Let me just turn this off. This is the kick. So we've got this kick here. Yeah, sounds pretty good. But Parallel Aggressor, what this actually does is allows you to use parallel compression without any of the routing. You literally put this plugin on, it does everything within it, okay? And what we have is spank, the dry level, and then this heat. So spank is gonna add all this kind of front end slap to it and good, like, it's spank, right? It's gonna add the transient. On the back end is the heat. And that's where we're gonna add a lot of that kind of like dirt and grime and heat, I guess. That's probably why they called it that. So right now I've got this, let's just put it 50-50 here. That's what it'll be automatically. And let's solo this out without it. All right, and let's put this on a cycle here. So this is without it, with it. Now it's subtle, but let's go ahead and crank up the spank. Let's actually turn the heat off and just listen to spank at 100. Without. With. And you've got these spank styles. I had extra punch on. You can do extra smack. You can do a filter. So let's go ahead and put everything on the smack and extra smack and punch. So you can hear that's adding just a ton of like, kind of like at the beginning of the sound, right? Which right now is a little much. But by adding that spank, this is going to give it a lot more clarity where that kick is actually going to be able to be heard a lot more at the front end on the transient, where if we unsolo this, it's going to allow it to speak a lot more. And then the heat here, let's turn the heat back on, solo this out. So this is heat all the way up. And you can hear that's adding this kind of sound to it, which is really excessive. So heat is where you want to be a little more careful, in my opinion at least. Obviously it depends on what your actual application is, but the heat is going to add a little bit more on the rest of the sound to just give it some dirt and grime and crunch. And so this obviously works really great on kicks. You could use it on bass. You could use it on synthesizers. You can even use it on vocals. And you could 100% use this on drum bus. Your drum bus, it just would sound dope with like acoustic drums. This is just gonna be so fantastic to glue everything together, add a nice amount of smack and punch and heat to everything. Anyway, this plugin is just absolutely sick. That brings us to the next one, which is Super VHS. Super VHS, this one's also pretty darn sick. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a listen. Here I've got this synth here. So you can hear. Right? Pretty cool. So this Super VHS here is going to add kind of a lot of different things. You've got heat, wash, drift, and then you have this static and shape. Okay, I'll show you what all this is. And then in the middle here you have this magic switch, which if you just They have a free plugin called Magic Switch. Just go get it. I'll show you what that sounds like here in a second. But let's just go ahead and play this here. So there's the heat for you. It's got you a little bit of saturation. That static is going to add static, and it is going to be there the whole time. So if you turn that on, it's going to be on like the whole way. You got wash. Kind of adds some sustain. And then drift. This is where you're going to get some of that lo-fi kind of sound, the VHS true sound. Obviously that's like really crazy. Then you have the magic button, the magic switch. Just, okay, so listen to this, right? Okay, with the magic switch. Sounds so good. So they actually have the Magic Switch as a free plugin, as kind of like an entry into the baby audio world. Let me just show you that, the Magic Switch. This is what it looks like. You can just turn it on and then control mix. So all the way up. Without it. With it. So it's kind of adds like this chorus kind of an effect. Anyway, it's sweet. It's a magic switch. You just turn it on, it's boom, just takes your things to the next level. If you want your stuff to not sound stock, I see this as the stock removal plugin. Like this is the plugin that you want to use if you're using a synthesizer or something that just kind of sounds like a little stock, and then you want to make it not sound stock, just use this, okay? Let me give you a great example, okay? What if we just opened up the Logic Pro electric piano? Because that's one of the main things. I hear people use this so often, and it's not terrible. It's this suitcase piano. Ready? Okay, it doesn't sound great, but let's go ahead and add some heat, some wash, a little bit of drift in this magic. Boom. Add a little more heat, a little more wash, a little more drift. Make sure that hisses. Okay, then we can change the shape too. Oh yeah, the shape kind of actually changes, like almost like the adds like a little more of a lo-fi. Oh my gosh, just that right there alone just took it to the next level. Now let's put some spaced out on it. Let's have it mixed pretty low. Here we go. I mean, boom. You take that, you just take those two plugins off. Listen to what we had to start. Put those two plugins back on. It no longer sounds like a stock instrument. It actually sounds like a really stinking good sounding electric piano. So boom, that's what it is. Super VHS is just, it's a stock killer. It kills the stock sound. So those are the three that I use the most. They have other plugins. I just haven't really dug into Comeback Kid or the iHeart New York. That's a New York style compressor. Comeback Kid is just a more typical delay. You can see what it looks like here. It's kind of like a vintage style delay. It's got some cool stuff. I've played with it a little bit, really enjoyed it, but personally for me, spaced out is where it's at. Like, that just goes with the type of vibe that I'm typically going for, and it works so, so good. Look, if you're looking to level up your home studio production skills, and you really need to check out my Program Producer Accelerator, it is the ultimate online music production course. You can check that link down below. I also have an entirely free training where I cover the 7 keys to a pro home studio production, so that way you can have clarity on knowing what things to actually focus on to make your production sound better. And if you like this video, you need to subscribe for more videos like these. Have so much more awesome stuff coming in 2021. We'll see you in the next one.